This particular section of this video. In our previous video, we're able to arrive at this point, which is actually that of this by making use of that of the subplot. So we're able to draw multiple graphs on our environment, or I can say on our current drawing screen that we, as we can see here, by making this was possible because we make use of that of the subplot. So today we are going to look at what is actually that of the scatter plot. Scatter plot, let's actually see example, then we can actually tend to actually understand it really more. So I'm just going to let me just comment all these guys out. So let me just assume that is a new topic that we're actually treating, so I can come down here. So I'm going to make use of some of all these available pre-written stuff already. So I'm going to comment it out. Let me actually make sure everything is in order. Yeah, everything is in order. So the next we want to actually do is actually to implement that of the plt.what scatter. Hope that is correct. So we are going to set our y and that of our x. So that's simple as that, plt.scatter and plt.show. Let's actually see how this scatter plot actually is. This scatter plot actually is one of the main guide that is being used when it comes to that of machine learning scenario, or let's say in some scenario whereby you want to differentiate your data. So if you want to look more insight on what your data is actually, let's say in a situation whereby here is for maybe for the age, and for this is maybe a survivor, like we can see on some of our data sets. So with this you can actually look at some of the people that actually maybe survive, maybe the age signify maybe the survivor and some of other things. But when we look at this, more like what we see and by setting that of the marker. So but let's actually increase the size of the can say the size of the text, I can say the content we have. Let's actually increase more, just copying and pasting most of them, so things can make look. So the reason why we're getting this is because we just copied and pasted almost everything, so they are all more like line beneath under each of and every one of them. So for us to actually do this, we need to actually try to tweak the values manually, trying to tweak this or this value. We can actually make use of a random function that exists in this of the NumPy. So you can say random what round int. So want to get 100 data, and then want to set the size to be that of the 100. So we're just going to copy the same thing, so we don't actually know the amount of the type of data we're actually getting. So we can actually visualize this of our scatter plot a little bit. Okay, that's now attribute random. So this is a random, not random. So let's actually run it again. As we can see that we get kind of messed up kind of data here. So we can see that this is more like the y colon and this is more like the x colon. So with this we can see that the maximum is 100 and the minimum is 0. You can see this guy that appears is more. Let's assume that this is age and this is the survival rate. So when we look at maybe somewhere that between the age to 20, when we look, the idea of a scatter plot is actually insight on what your data is actually doing. Maybe, okay, let's actually try to give it colors also to actually differentiate each of these balls, that in case if you actually introduce scatter plot, I can see those balls different color. There's something actually called we can say C map, or I can say color map. This color map tend to make use of that of the numbers that actually represent that of the color. So we can say our colors, though we can actually copy these guys. We're just going to be a little bit similar. So here we are going to set our C is an extra parameter we have actually seen earlier to actually set our color. So we can say it's going to be that of the colors that we actually which is this number. So the next we want to do is actually to set our C map. There are a whole lot of parameters that can be set on this C map, but we're going to make use of that of the NP spectral. So that's NIP. Okay, there's supposed to be Y here. NIP spectral. It's hard to remember some of all these names. So let's actually run and see, and then visualize how our scatter plot, all of them are going to have different colors. Like how we can see, you can see that they tend to have different colors there, because that's with help of this color map we can actually assign each of them a different color by making use of numbers to actually do this. So there are many use cases of this scatter plot, like example where you want to actually visualize your data, where you want to have more knowledge on your data. When we start our machine learning tutorial, we're going to see we can actually draw a graph here and maybe a straight line here to actually try to shift some data, actually understand how the data actually works, because what we're actually doing here is just to have an idea of on how to actually plot something on the screen by making use of this of the Matplotlib. So that's just basically what. And for this of the scatter plot, we're going to use it more and more. So even though you don't understand what we actually did there, just to all our data, we'll just tend to scatter them on the screen, or maybe to represent them as dots. That's basically what we did there. We didn't do any other special stuff here. That's just it, to represent our lines of dots. So that's just it. To add that of the color bar to maybe a kind of color bars at the side. So to do that, we are going to say our plt dot color bar. Simple as that. Is going to get a bar which signifies that of the color on by the side of our plot. So let's this load up. We are going to see that we can see this signifies it. Orange 60. We have the black 0, we have the blue 20. We are going to look at that of the histogram, the pie chart, and then a whole lot of other graph that we can actually make use of this of our Matplotlib. So I'll be happy to see in that.